What's up, YouTube? It's Eric, a Lions fan. I appreciate you checking out my video. Not going to be a beer review tonight. I'm going to talk about the Tigers. And right at the All-Star break, I think they're 46. Let me see here. What is it? Had the 46 and 43. The information I'm getting is from Lynn Henning. He's from the Detroit News. That's where I got this article from. Kind of a mid-season grade sort of stuff, and kind of some little tidbits I want to talk about. Like I said, right now they're 46 and 43, coming off the All-Star break. They're probably playing right now. I'm just not watching them. I just got back home from working out, and jumped in the shower and did a beer review, and now I'm going to start doing the next part, which is Detroit Tigers 2016, kind of their halfway mark, kind of my assessment of the Detroit Tigers. Now, granted, I've only watched about 40 games now, and I know that's not a whole lot really to go off of. And I've watched them here and there all throughout the season, 2016 season. But a couple of little tidbits on here that Lynn put on his article here from the Detroit News. He's right when he says this here. He says there's too little pitching and their offense is too irregular, which means to me they're not doing a whole lot of hit and runs. They're not doing enough of that because they've got speed on the base paths now. I was hoping the Osmus would take advantage of that, and he hasn't. I think they still rely too much on the long ball, and you guys all know this. If you guys frequent my videos enough here on the channel, they do that too much, and the pitching is inconsistent. Whether it's the starting pitching or the bullpen, it's been too inconsistent. They're only a 500 team. I expect them now as to go into the second half and to play more division rivals. It's going to be out the other way. They're going to be a sub 500 team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up in fourth place. In the last place team being the Twins. He says they're still in contention for a wild card spot. I don't think they are. I'm a little bit pessimistic, I guess, being a Tigers fan, and knowing what the bullpen can be and what the hitting can be like and what the offense can be like. But for a $200 million payroll, the Tigers just aren't getting it done. It's just that plain and simple. And I'm going to go through here on my notes. Like I said, they're carrying $200 million into 2016. It's not going to get really any easier for them. He really doesn't mention here the subsequent years what they're going to be, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be above $100 million payroll, probably 150 plus, I'm guessing. And he goes on about some people being traded, and he rattled off quite a bit. And I'll just go through them here real quick. Victor Martinez, for as old as he is, he's as old as me. I'm 38 going on 39. The man as old as I am, he's still hitting very, very well for his age. I don't know what he's doing to be keeping in shape and for doing as well as he is. But he's 37, right around my age. He's making $18 million this season. And the next 2 years, he's going to get paid that same wage. Now, I'll admit, guys, he's probably not going to be traded at that price level and for only primarily being a DH. He can play some first base, and I know he can catch some, but I don't know if that would be even doable for him unless it's an emergency situation where they were down to their last catcher and they had to put him in there. That's the only reason I'm guessing why he could catch. So probably not likely that he's going to be traded. They talk about Verlander possibly going to the Red Sox, where Dave Dombrowski went to after he got let go from the Tigers, which I'll admit it's kind of a gift and a curse, because I think Dombrowski was mortgaging on winning now and then worrying about other stuff later. Well, they never really did win. They only got to the World Series twice, and they should have won against the Red Sox the year that the Red Sox won the World Series, which that's a whole nother spiel for another time. They say Cabrera, but being a 10-year veteran of the team and it says here, both Verlander and Cabrera have 10 years of big league experience, and they have been with their team for at least 5 seasons, and that means they can't be dealt unless they have their consent. Which Verlander I could see probably saying yes, but I don't know about Cabrera. I don't know if he would want to renegotiate his contract to take a pay cut, but he might if he wants to win a world championship. He might, but time will tell, I guess. Like I said, Verlander's wants to go, or not wants to go. He seems to think the Red Sox are going to be pushing hard, but we'll see. Verlander, he's got a heavy contract. It's $84 million owed through 2019. So I'm guessing there probably going to have to be some renegotiation. And there's a vesting option for 2020, but I don't know. We'll see. Kinsler, I actually like Ian Kinsler, but I don't know how his feelings are here in Detroit, if he wants to stay or if he wants to be traded. $14 million he makes this season, and he gets $12 million the next year. And in 2018, he has a team option that would pay him either $12 million if they keep him, or he has a $5 million payout. JD Martinez. I like Martinez too, but he's coming off of I think he says healing from a fractured elbow. So it's probably going to take him some time to get back into the rotation, get back into his groove. If no lingering options or no lingering effects from his injury are going to be around, which they probably will be. I don't know. We'll see. Another guy that could be on the trade deadline. Justin Upton. Now this is the one where I cannot believe the Detroit Tigers spent and I'm going to apologize here, $22 million for a fucking strikeout king, the top 10. I don't know what the hell was going through Avilia's mind when he signed the contract. True, the man's only 28, but all he had to do was look on baseballreference.com and see that he was in the top 10 in strikeouts for, I think, the last couple of years. To me, it doesn't just take a whole lot of brain science, or does it take a rocket scientist to go to a website and figure this out when it's all detailed for you right there on a webpage for every player? So I think that was one of the stupidest moves that Avila has made in his very, very short stint as the general manager. Now, he was an assistant general manager, but he's never been in the top spot before, I don't think. But Zimmerman, he has a no-trade clause through 2018. So, but I'm thinking that if he was liking the trade, he could probably waive it. But in Pelfrey again, I think he's been pitching better, and he's a pretty good steal at $8 million through 2017. I think that's a good deal. Cameron Maven. Now, this is somebody that personally I think is done very, very well for the Tigers. I was not impressed when they picked him up. I thought he was, I don't know, I just thought he was kind of going to skate through. I didn't think he was going to really do anything. And I'll admit, I don't really follow any other Major League Baseball team, so I didn't know a whole lot about him, but he's been a nice surprise, a very nice surprise. 2017 is going to make $9 million. I'm not sure about this year. I'm sure it's probably close to that. And he has a $1 million buyout if the Tigers don't want to pick him up on that option deal. And that's pretty much it. And Francisco Rodriguez. For as bad as the Tigers have been, he's probably been one of their more consistent pitchers, at least coming up to the All-Star break. It says here he has 24 saves. I don't know how the man got 24 saves, but he's got 24 saves. It doesn't really see who he would be going to. It says, and I'll read the little paragraph here, it says, his allure is real and could earn a bonanza for the Tigers, who in all trade conversations this month will ideally shoot for packages on par with last July's deals. Young and strong arms, quick feet, and quicker bats, with contracts that are manageable. I don't know. We'll see. I don't necessarily think Rodriguez is really trade bait. I'm sure the Tigers are probably going to have to say sweeten the deal a little bit if they do want to deal Rodriguez. But out of all these, I think probably Verlander And it's sad for me to say this. I think Verlander's probably the best option the Tigers had for trading and to try to get some at least young prospects. So, and they have some stuff on here real quick. But overall, the Tigers are going to have to really step up their game if they're going to want to, even to get a wild card spot to me. Like he addresses here, the pitching's got to get better, the hitting's got to get better, the offense has to get better. They have to do, in my opinion, now this is just me talking, my opinion is they have to do more hit and runs. They have to do stuff to generate runs to help their pitchers. And there hasn't been a whole lot of that for this first half of the season. Yeah, they've scored some big runs here and there, but they haven't really given their pitchers a good comfort zone. And what I mean by a comfort zone is maybe 2 to 4 runs, or maybe even 2 to 5 runs, where they can start zeroing in on a spot and getting guys out on strikeouts or ground balls or something, or having them swing at pitches that they wouldn't normally swing at. And when a pitcher feels that, gets that groove, the Tigers are usually pretty unstoppable. But it hasn't happened all that often. Usually they've been the ones that have been behind and they've had to come back to win. But we'll see how the second half goes. The Indians are the team to beat, I think, which I'm surprised the Royals aren't doing it much better than what they are. I haven't even looked at the standings, but I know Detroit's, I think, 3rd. I think they're behind. They're obviously behind the Twins, and I think they're behind the White Sox, I want to say. I'm not sure if that's true, but there's one team in there that they're behind. They're in the middle of the pack, which that's where I pretty much feel the Tigers are going to be at. They're a 500 ball club. They could be sub 500 when it's all said and done. And I don't know what Illich is going to do to the team if they're a sub 500 team again. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of the Tigers. Do you guys think of anybody else here that's trade bait? Oh, before I go, I wanted to say one more thing. Anthony Gose. As we all know, Cameron Maben came up and Anthony Gose came back down to AAA ball. Well, I guess in that stint of time that he's been down there, him and Lloyd McClendon had a disagreement. I guess there was some words exchanged. And the last I knew of it, his locker was, he took stuff out of his locker and he hasn't been seen. Now, that was 2 days ago. ESPN came out with an update that said Anthony Gose was on a 3-game suspension, and when he came back, he was demoted to AA. So, I really don't know what to think of that, to be honest. I think he's just probably pissed off that Maben's getting a chance where he was at, number one. And number two, I think some stuff has happened where it's just been I don't want to say a progression backwards, but I know there's a term, and I'm using the wrong phrase there, but it doesn't look good for Anthony Gose. He could be, by the end of the year, who knows if he's even going to be in baseball anymore. So, but if he does, if he ends up traded, I wish the man the best. And I hope he comes back as a Tiger because I kind of did like him. And I thought he helped the team out some. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of the Tigers if you're a Tigers fan. I also follow the Cubs. I haven't seen very many Cubs games this year. The Cubs, I'd like him for the pick to be at least in the National League Championship Series. I like him for at least there. I don't know if they're quite World Series material, but they very well could go into the World Series. I would love to see them win the World Series because the Cubs are one of the teams that I've always kind of liked other than the Detroit Tigers. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do a like, subscribe, comment. And as always, I hope to see you guys again soon. Deuces.